It's time for the type of energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
It's a Friday, and like, honestly, do you know what says it's a Friday more than all of us having a conversation 10 seconds before this show started about Sister Jean and whether or not she's still alive? I have good news to report.
She's still with us.
She is still with us.
Damn.
She is going to be, 105 years? 105 in just a few weeks.
Damn.
In August.
That's nuts.
If I get an invite, I'll be there. I'm familiar with Loyola.
What kind of party would they have for Sister Jean for 105th birthday?
Nothing too loud, I know that.
Punch.
It'd be over at 6.
Right.
No.
Still got my whole night.
4. You talking about 6? They have the radio blasting at decibel 1.
You're right.
Be playing songs from the 40s.
And let me tell you, I'm an old person, but old people, they like to party. When I was younger, I was at the Super Bowl.
Okay.
We had to stay at a hotel where there were senior citizen dance. So we went in there, peeked in by mistake. Oh, man, we messed up the senior citizens dance. So we turned around to leave. This old bro, I swear she was 85, grabbed me by my arm and said, "You ain't leaving yet."
Oh,
Some girl said, you haven't danced with me yet.
oh my
yeah.
God. It's like a movie.
Yeah, I was. So I danced with her.
Of course
Get
you
in
did.
there, right?
There's
Oh,
nothing,
yeah, man.
Get
Terry-
in there.
Terry had
there's
a good
nothing wrong
night.
with that. I when I was a manager at the Grand Traverse Pie in East Lansing, there was this
You were manager at Grand Traverse Pie?
Grand Traverse Pie
Oh, my
in
God.
East Lansing, the one right on Grand River.
Spin to get around.
There was a lady that used to come in every morning after her power walk. She had to be, 75, 80 years old. She was a fox, silver fox. I would offer her free pumpkin bread all the time with her quiche, flirt with her all the time. Like, I would knock her down.
Yeah,
if it came
Smitty
down
would
to
do
it.
it.
I'm saying.
Now,
talking about old broad.
did you follow it?
I did not.
You gave it up?
No, I gave
All
it
right.
up. If it came to me, I would have let it happen, but I wasn't going to
Yeah.
pursue it.
That's how it be. I feel it.
Hey, y'all need to get your world rock with an old woman.
I say, you know what?
That
That's
experience, man.
okay. So seriously, the youngest guy in here. Who's the youngest guy? I'm gonna guess
Justin,
Justin.
yeah.
Okay, you're the young. Is there an age limit for you? Is it? And I'm serious.
He's
And if
young,
you don't
of
want to
course it
answer,
is.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, I'll answer, but shout out my girlfriend. I am happily with
Here we
with
go.
disclaimer.
my love,
Yeah,
but
let's establish that.
But
Justin's
time.
girlfriend.
I don't know, probably like 65.
Oh, man.
Okay,
God.
Justin.
That might be a little aggressive, but like, I mean,
It's not if
Selma
she-
Hayek is like that old, and she's
Bro,
bad.
I'm 65, and I'm not messing with any 65-year-old.
I mean, it has to be like the unicorn of 65-year-olds. I'm saying, like, in terms of like a broad audience, it's probably got to be
Justin.
below 50.
Justin, you're what, 22?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm 5 years older than you. We're on different wavelengths. I'm prowling the streets of Birmingham looking for 80-year-olds
Yes,
that are
sir.
hopping
Yes,
on
sir.
the
Smitty
bed,
know
on
how
their
to do
last leg, ready to go.
Sugar mama.
I need
Sugar
the
grandma,
mama.
baby.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn right.
Sugar Mama's got some money.
Yes, sir.
Spenny needs his sugar.
That's
There's
what I'm
nothing wrong
saying.
with that.
Yeah.
No.
There's not everything. You know what? The $1 Million Man said it many years ago.
Yeah.
Everybody has a price.
You damn
I'll
right.
hope
Everybody's
Hey,
gonna pay
You
too.
got a shot, too, because they like disheveled dude.
Exactly.
They
I'll
like
help you carry your groceries to your Ben's grandma, it's-
Damn
My
right.
son, so he went to DePaul, and when he was 19, like every other 19-year-old kid, he had a fake ID. And many years ago, I worked at a bar, and I seen some of the worst fake IDs you can ever imagine.
Yeah.
Like where you're just like, this is so bad, I'm going to actually let you in.
Right.
Like you deserve credit for having the audacity. I looked at my kid's ID, and I was like, dude, this is good. The technology has really improved.
Yeah.
But he called me from the bar. St. Patrick's Day is a big thing in Chicago. he called me from the bar, and he's like, Dad, I got this like 38-year-old woman that wants me to go back to the apartment with her. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
And
what's the problem?
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Is she hot? Yeah, but she's 38.
So?
And I'm
yeah.
like, dude, my age, Terry, like back in the day for me, and I don't know if I can speak for you guys, when I was 19, that was the golden unicorn.
Oh, yeah.
Like, seriously, wait, hold on. I got a 38-year-old hottie
Yep.
that wants to take me home.
Yeah.
The lessons that could be learned were unbelievable. Now, he passed, but that's what I told him. I said, our age group, and Terry, you
Hey,
can
bro,
agree.
you know what he's gonna get? He's gonna get a home cooked meal
Damn right.
Yeah.
and
They treat you
and
good.
dessert.
Them
tell you
older
what,
ones, they treat you good.
I spent a night or two in Okemos from a nice elder lady that took me home from the bar back in my days in East Lansing. There's nothing
The
wrong with
assisted
that.
living place.
Yeah,
That's it.
right.
That's your story, right?
No, it was like same kind of deal, like early 40s. Any day. What do you mean?
Yeah.
She looks good. She looks good.
Get it how you
Hey,
live.
All
man.
right, let me give you young fellas a little history lesson.
It's
What you about
Friday.
to
Did we
come
mention
into?
that? It's Friday.
It is Friday.
Right.
I think they already could figure that out. What we're
Yeah.
talking about.
The women in their 20s, no good.
Overrated.
Yes.
Overrated.
Because they know they're fine. They know can get anything they want. So they're like a little,
Yeah.
standoffish. You get those women in the 30s, oh man.
Yeah.
They're going to rock
Different
your
story.
world.
They know what they're doing. They
Yep.
know what they want.
Rock your world, bro.
And then at some point in time, like in the 40s, it's almost like and you never know when it's going to happen. It's almost like they go back to the 30s and they want to prove that they're like they were in the
Yeah.
30s.
Trying to
you
keep
know?
up. Yeah.
And you walk
Which
up,
isn't true anymore. And I can say that as a male as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like you're just kind of like, okay, I had a good run and everything. But yeah, it is fascinating because to me, Terry, my group, that was the golden unicorn.
Yeah.
You got a girl in the 30s, even the upper 30s. That was like, okay, this is the thing, Stifler's mom type of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
There you
I mean,
go.
that was like, that's the golden calf, man.
you got to hit them with the miss.
Yeah.
Excuse me, miss. May I buy you a drink? Oh, miss.
Right.
Yeah. It works.
No. I'm going to buy you a drink. That's what you can get from some of these women.
No, 100.
I remember because when I was young, I mean, these young broads be like, we were at the bar one time, and then some woman said, which one of you fine gentlemen is going to buy me a drink? And I was with this other. I said, must be him because I'm not buying you anything.
Damn, Terry. She must have been a dud.
Probably enjoyed that, too.
Yeah.
You're coming home with me, little man.
It was cute, but I thought that was a little damn.
You know what the cool thing
I don't
about
have
it,
to buy
too?
you anything.
Like, she might make you dinner, but you know what the cool thing is? The first thing in the morning, you know what she's going to say? Get the hell out
Get
of my
out
house.
of my
I got to go
house,
to work.
yeah.
Yes, they
Thank
sent
you.
you on the
Yes.
walk of
I want
shame.
it out.
Yes.
Thank you.
They put you on the walk of shame.
Yeah.
Man. That's the
Right,
best
right.
part. It's the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm out like at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
I just get up, I'm gone.
Oh, if
She don't have to tell me to go home.
if you can make the Irish escape, that's even
Oh,
better.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get up and go to the
no
bathroom,
matter
and then you
how
hear the door
fine
shut.
the woman, you know what's gonna happen at 4 a.m.? She's gonna have that bad breath.
Yep.
You're not gonna be one of these bothered.
Her dentures out.
Dentures out.
Her dentures is out.
Her gums are throbbing, and that breath is kicking. You want out?
She pops the dentures out. I might be thinking something else real quick before I leave.
I be calling Spinny, man. Can you get me out of this situation here?
Dude, let me tell you something though. All jokes aside, and which one of you guys, Justin, maybe it was you. All jokes aside, like women have changed. Like, you know, back in the day,
Yeah.
you said Jane Seymour, she's still smoking. She might be 94. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she got on 20 pounds of makeup.
That's
man.
fine with me. That's
Don't
fine.
fall for that. And she got the crepe erase
Oh,
thing,
that's-
or
Yeah.
crepey breast.
yeah, yeah.
Talk about creepy.
It's real though. So
Yeah.
I have no idea how we came. We went from Sister Jean and the
Yeah,
purity
right.
of Sister Jean to all of this.
Which
Who
one of y'all
gives
knock
sis-
it down, sister?
Now wait a
Jean?
minute. Who would give Sister Jean a shot?
What is,
I don't want to kill her, Terry.
Right. One of y'all knocking it down. I know
don't wanna
you.
go-
all eyes just turned to Justin.
Yeah.
Justin,
Oh, hell no.
what do you got? What do you got?
You like
Honestly,
him, old bro?
You and Jesus are friends. Sister Jean might get into that.
Yeah.
Nah, hell
honestly,
no.
triple digits would definitely be a bucket list thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a notch in the belt. It's a notch in the
Hey,
belt.
Jesus, you know
trying
if
to
you
fuck a
kiss her,
desert?
Just to say you
bro,
did it.
if you kiss her, she will die right on the spot. So I want
Yeah,
you-
I don't want to hurt her.
There might be charges, like seriously, like involuntary mangular. A good-looking young lad like you, that might be the end.
What did you do to Sister Jean? I just gave a little kiss. Guilty. You gone.
Imagine that's how she dies, though. Like that's her. That's how her run ends.
That's how I would want to go out. What do you mean? If
I'm 105 and some 22-year-old hottie came up and kissed me, I'm ready, Lord.
Holy
Come and get me, Jesus.
Oh my
y'all
gosh!
silly dog.
Can we restart the show
All right,
and
yeah,
everything?
let's
Yeah,
start
let's get. Can we
all
just
over.
do
I'm
the
dying
whole
over
open
here.
again and everything?
Yeah, we can do it. Let's go to break first.
Big D!
Let's
Yeah, Big D energy, right? And we didn't even say like. By the way, I'm Sean. He's Terry. We're
Hello.
in for Darren McCarty and Neil
shit.
Rule. Well, lots to talk about. It was great to see some football. I know it's fake football, but it was great to see some football. So glad you could join us on a Friday morning here on Woodward Sports Network.
Sean, we got to talk about them kickoff rules, man.
We do. We got to get to those. We got a lot to talk about. But first, let me tell you guys about Dispo. Because Dispo Dispensary is not only your local cannabis plug, but they give you a free $10 with a purchase of $25 or more. Scan the QR code right there and show it to them. They got the best staff, the best product, and the best locations. My favorite location is the Romeo store, Michigan's only cannabis mall. So make sure you go check out Dispo Dispensary at any location near you.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Shop.woodwardsports.com. It's merch. It's the best merch you got. Make sure you go there for all of your merch needs. We got Tigers. We got Lions. If you want Lions gear for the upcoming season, go to shop.woodwardsports.com.
We're trying to move on. So somebody throw something out there. So throw something out there.
No.
Because the conversations right now. The conversations right now are just they're just persisting. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Now I want to tell my story, damn it. I was in Central Michigan at the bar, and a rose appears in front of my face. I turn around. There's this brunette. She's 31 years old. She asked, I want to go to her place. I said, yeah, dude. The only thing that was troublesome is she lived a little bit outside of Mount Pleasant.
Yep.
And you a brother, you don't want to be outside.
Hell no.
You don't want to be out in the hinterlands
Hell no.
up north. Because they're going to get you.
Yeah.
They're gonna get you.
They will.
Dude, could have got honey pot
lying,
instead
man.
of.
I felt safe in Mount Pleasant. Once I went outside and there was no
I
lights
feel
or
you.
anything, and
Yeah.
you're seeing cows.
Why don't they believe in street lights? I never understood
There's
that.
no cars. Why
It's so
why would you
strange.
have street lights
It is.
outside the city? There's no need to.
I guess.
That is, have you guys ever driven in the UP? Like,
Yeah.
especially there's nothing. There is nothing. And I was stuck like in a driving rainstorm. I can't tell you how many times you hydroplane and you're just like, wee! Because I mean, there's no street lights. You can't see where the puddles are and everything. I'm gonna get you. I still can't get it. It's like that scene in Waterboy where the guy's going to kick. Remember?
Yeah, right.
He's the guy in the hoodie. Where are you going, boy?
Hey, boy.
He boots a 50-yard
Right.
field
You
goal.
lost, boy?
Right? Oh, fantastic.
They gonna get you, man.
That's one of those movies, I swear, every time it's on, I end up on Waterboy. Every single time it's on.
Great
and
movie.
to the point, like, my family sits back and is like, seriously, you're watching that again?
It's
Like,
a
I
classic.
leave it on. All Bobby Boucher's outstanding, right?
It's timeless.
It
It's
is.
a timeless classic.
It is.
Same with Happy Gilmore.
Yes, 100%. Is it just me? How many of you guys watched the game last night? I always make a point to watch the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I watched some of it.
I only watched the kickoff highlights.
It's
That's just
football,
all
right?
I wanted to see.
But it's football.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess.
Fake football, man.
It is fake football. Let's get that out of the way. But I think with everything that's going on with the Tigers right now, and I'm sorry, the Olympics just aren't grabbing me. It's been that way for a long time. I don't know what it is. The
Ain't
Olympics.
your
Andrew
thing.
Simone Biles?
I watched some of that. The Turkish shooter guy was pretty funny.
Yeah.
You know, the I don't know if you guys know the story. He got pissed at his soon-to-be ex-wife one day and just decided that he was going to go out and start shooting things.
Oh, shit.
And he's like a natural. And so he goes out there in his t-shirt and his jeans, and he's just shooting crap and no emotion, and he goes out and he wins a silver medal.
Wow.
He has no training. You know, all these dudes have been doing this since they're like 5 years old. He picked it up a few years ago while he was going through a divorce. And then, of course, after he wins the silver medal yesterday, he goes to his ex-wife, by the way, I want her dog back.
Uh-huh.
Oh, damn.
Like, dude, you're an
Cold-blooded.
assassin.
You know, you can do a lot of things when you're angry, man.
No, yeah. And all of the rest of his competition were wearing, like, all the equipment. There's, like, these special goggles that help you view in on the target and stuff. He just went out there straight raw dogged it and was like, yeah, watch me sling that shit real quick.
Gotta respect it.
And he won the silver.
Yep.
And he won the silver
Gotta
medal.
appreciate that.
Right? I mean, tip of the cap for that stuff. But you know what? With football coming back, and I'm with you, it's fake football. I'll be all in for the Lions. I just can't stand, we're going to go through it. Good, bad, or indifferent. People are going to turn these games into something that they aren't because they are, as Terry said, fake football games. By the way, not that I'm keeping track, 22 days until we can actually watch real football.
Yes, sir.
But here's
Georgia Tech, Florida State, baby, let's go.
Here's the issue that I have with this Hall of Fame game. Doesn't it seem like every year there's a weather delay?
Yeah.
And there's lightning
Right.
and storms and
Well, you know,
every
God,
single year.
God is saying, get this shit off the air. Y'all shouldn't be wasting your time watching this. That's why the field is flooded every year. There's lightning. God said, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Go do something else.
God's been talking to a lot of people this morning. He talked to Justin. He talked to Sister Jean.
Yeah.
He's been talking to a lot of people this morning. But no, you know what? Honestly, though, I'm happy to see football. I'm at that point. I'm a firm believer that, especially last year with what was going on with Michigan football, everybody knew that this could be a special season for the Michigan football fans. Who knew it would turn into what it eventually turned into? Everybody knew what the Lions season could be. Again, for once, Terry, the Lions actually exceeded expectations. I mean, they did last year. That just
Absolutely.
doesn't happen.
It was the first time someone would say Detroit Lions that I wouldn't snicker after they said the word. Because they're a legit team. They're for real now.
But I think that's what kind of hurt a guy like Tarek Skubal. Because if you weren't all in last year on the Tigers, you probably didn't even realize that Tarek Skubal developed into one of the best pitchers before our eyes. And that's even before this season started. My opinion, I think a lot of people are at that point with the Tigers right now. Okay, finish out the string. There's really nothing that interests me right now about the Tigers. I know Spenny said, well, who's going to pitch? I could go fire a couple knuckleballs. Yeah. I could go all Wakefield and throw 2 days worth of knuckleballs, and I'm not going to blow out my arm, but
I think the rotation should be Riley Green, McKinstry. It doesn't matter who they throw out there.
Pause.
Yeah, don't
that's what I was about to say.
put innings on the arms of any pitchers that you want.
there's no reason right now.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
This is tanking the rest of the season. That's what it's going to be about.
I want to ask you, because the guys in this room can't really relate to this. And I brought this up a couple times, but it would be good to bounce it off a guy like Terry who had a front row seat for this. Terry, 1992, heading into that season after the Lions went to the NFC Championship game, we know what happened against Washington. The expectations that year were sky high. And I've heard some people who have been longtime Lion fans saying, man, I just worry that we're going into the 1992 again, where the expectations were sky high. They turned around and went 5-11. If you remember game one, some guy named Jim Harbaugh, I don't know what became of him, threw a touchdown on the last play of the game. Tom Waddle, if I'm not mistaken, beat the Lions. And honest to God, it set the tempo for the whole season. Terry, the difference this year is the Lions haven't lost two integral parts of their offensive line heading into the season. Eric Andolsek, of course, his tragic death. Mike Utley being paralyzed. I know people still have that feeling, like you said, of Detroit Lions, snicker, snicker, okay? Have they proven to you that this is a different franchise, A? And B, is there any fear that you see the 1992 play itself out?
No, it's not going to happen again. Here's some other things you had besides the tragedies for 1992. You had a clown coaching staff.
100%.
Wayne Fonts was just happy-go-lucky, having a good time.
Goofy.
They had popsicle breaks during training camp.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
And now Dan Campbell is getting
That's
pissed
wild.
off at him when they don't execute in like the second padded practice. So there's a big difference. But Wayne was like, "Oh, guys, you've been working real hard. Just get the popsicles out."
Wow.
And they would get out. You want grape? You want orange or cherry? That's a big difference.
It's crazy.
And it was a clown organization too. I'm not gonna say they got lucky, but it was just a flash in the pan, and you knew it wasn't. Well, I knew it wasn't gonna last because I knew it was fool's gold. This is not fool's gold this year. These guys are really good, and they're young bucks too. Young dudes, they're like 22, 23. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's 24. You know what they call him? Grandpa. And so you have the other thing is the players didn't totally believe in the coaching staff. They didn't totally buy into what they were doing. And even though they had that good year, that bullshit Lions culture was still there. And
100%.
they couldn't get rid of it. And and I'll tell you what else they're doing now. They're paying their players. Back then they were still like,
Yeah.
I know you're up and we could redo your contract, but we're not going to do it. So guys would come in the training camp all pissed off because they feel I should get paid. Lions didn't want to pay him. Now they've already taken care of Frank Ragnow.
Mhm.
Panay
Panay
Sewell,
Sewell.
Jared Goff,
Yeah.
Amon-Ra.
So you don't have to beg for money with this Detroit Lions. They're like, okay, it's your turn. Let's try to work it out. Jared Goff, they took care of him. If Jared Goff was the quarterback in 92, he never would be extended.
Never.
Ever.
You know what the difference is, too? I mean, Terry's spitting facts right now. The perception of this franchise from the player's perspective, not only was it like that then, but 30 years later, it's still like that. I mean, the scars from what happened 30 years ago, you listen to some of those guys, and I am not going to name any names. Terry, I'm sure you've
I'll
talked to a
name
few
'em.
guys. Listen, some of these guys, they don't want to come back. They don't feel welcome. They still bear the scars of some of these brutal contract negotiations. It is downright sad. And I'm talking, Terry, I'm talking legends.
Bro,
legends.
that's why you lost Barry Sanders.
Yep.
Barry Sanders, and even though in the stupid documentary they didn't really get to the real issue.
Yeah.
Barry's pissed because they screwed Kevin Glover, his center. They Chris Spielman, Lomas, whole bunch of dudes. Why are you saving the money? What are you saving it for?
Yeah.
You're making millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You got a team that's good, so why piss your players off?
You know what is funny? And I hope that you guys, the younger guys that are here, take this as the compliment I mean it to be, okay? So many guys that I know, my age group, okay, are terrified to say Lions and Super Bowl in the same sentence. It's almost like, here's the Lord again. He's going to strike you down for simply suggesting that, let alone thinking it, but verbalizing.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that should be the expectation. Based on what happened last year, that should be the expectation. Terry, I don't feel dirty about it. I don't feel like I'm fooling myself again. I don't feel like this is 1995 where I bought in. 100% I bought in.
You know, I think the Sister Jean spirit is inside of you.
Oh,
You are spitting facts today. But say it. Don't be afraid. The Lions, I covered the Lions for many, many years.
Yeah.
I never, ever heard the word Super Bowl in that dressing room. Ever. It was always like, oh, we can win a lot of games or we can beat anybody on any given Sunday. But nobody talked about championships.
The only time I heard it a little bit was when they went on that winning streak in 95. Remember, they went on that 7-game winning streak, and then we remember what happened in Philly. But you know what? I respect this about the younger guys, like in a lot of you out there and Spenny and the boys in here. You guys haven't lived through what Terry and I lived through.
I don't know. I was alive for the Millen era, so
Well,
just saying.
But you know what I'm
saying,
saying?
man.
You don't
I
have
know.
any problem saying, yeah, Super Bowl contender.
But
yeah, legitimate, 100% Super Bowl contender. Because I think so many of us literally have that anchor on us that says, well, what about this? And what about that? And what about that? And none of that has to do with the current formation of this franchise. Terry, this is a good franchise right now.
Right. And they're talking about championships. They feel they can win a championship. And you brought up Matt Millen. You know why they hired Matt Millen?
Because he was friends with Willie Clay.
He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy. We love Matt Millen. Good guy. He comes in. He talks to our coaches. They have great conversation. They didn't talk about winning.
Right. Or football.
No,
really.
nothing. Everybody likes Matt Millen. So the Chicago Bears going to give the Lions their secrets because Matt is a great guy. So is the San Francisco 49ers. That was baloney.
Yeah.
We went through a whole era. It was really odd. And I had this conversation with a columnist in town and kind of a back and forth about it. And I'm going to evoke her name again. But he was a little agitated at me because I was so harsh on one John Joseph Harrington. And I had nothing personal against John Joseph Harrington. I didn't. It seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That was the problem.
You know who else didn't like John Joseph Harrington?
Steve Mariucci.
His teammates. And Mariucci hated him.
Across the board.
Hated him.
And it was funny because this very prominent columnist said to me, we shouldn't be so quick to run a good guy out of town. And I kind of said, and I'll use Sister Jean as an example now. I said, well, Mother Teresa is one of the most wonderful human beings that ever lived.
That sounds like the columnist who's shorter than Sister Jean.
I said, Mother Teresa is one of the most wonderful human beings alive today. Maybe, arguably, whoever walked the face of the planet. I don't want her running my West Coast offense.
Yeah.
It was such bad logic, but unfortunately, Terry, whether people want to admit it or not, and you mentioned you were around for the Millen era, we heard that at every turn.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a problem. Well, he's such a good guy. He's from Iron Mountain. I don't care. He's from Allen Park. Like, this isn't working. And people would argue about Joey Harrington and argue about Matt Millen. And, well, you know what? You add that all up, and you know what happens? It all culminates in 2008 and going 0-16.
Yep. With Rod Marinelli at the helm.
Right.
They're like, come on. What are we doing?
What a nice man.
I was doing a story on Joey Harrington, your boy.
My boy.
And so I had to talk to Steve Mariucci about him. And normally when you ask about any player on a roster, they'll say something nice about him.
Yeah.
Well, he's got good breath. Or he's got great
Good
hair. Or
breath.
just anything. Just to say he's good. He's a good player. He throws a good deep ball or he does something else. Steve Mariucci went like this. He had nothing good to say about his starting quarterback.
That's crazy.
I'll never forget, and I'm sure you were there, when Mooch got fired. And what were the guys talking about? The guys in the room. The guys weren't talking about how their coach got fired. You know what they were talking about? How Joey Harrington got their coach fired.
Right.
That was a real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, hey, and I go back just a few years ago. I'm serious. Talk about 2019. I remember going to the room with Lomas Brown one time, and walking in there, and I swear it on the good Lord above, it was like walking into a funeral home.
I remember that, Sean.
Listen, it's the first week of November. There's 2 months of football left. And all these guys already have 1 foot out the door. The season's over.
No, you didn't look down on the floor. You know what else you would have seen?
What's that?
Whole bunch of brown boxes that said U-Haul on them. They were packing up and leaving.
It was real, dude. It was, and I mean, it goes to show you again, like how quickly things can change with this franchise. And obviously, you've got a general manager and certainly a head coach that deserve that. So I am not going to feel guilty. And for the guys out there going, Blegion, you're doing it to yourself again. No, I'm going to say it. Yes, I expect the Detroit Lions to be in the Super Bowl.
Damn right.
Yes, I do. And if they're not, am I going to be devastated? No. I'm not going to be devastated because I believe that the window is open, but that's my expectation, and I'm not going to apologize for it.
All right, let me help you out.
All right.
I'm a guy who hates the Detroit Lions. Hate them.
On record.
Hated them for years.
Yep.
I kind of like them now, but I had no Lions gear. I only went to games if I was working because it was just such a Mickey Mouse organization. Now, they've changed now. They should be talking about going to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
This stuff about Green Bay, I'm reading the little magazines now that say, well, Green Bay should be favored in the division. Bullshit. The Lions should win the division. They should beat San Francisco. This is the year.
Yeah.
This is the year.
Love it. Don't be afraid to say it. All right, we'll talk a little bit about Ben Johnson talking up the defense. I don't know if you saw or heard some of the things he said.
Can I sing a song now?
Go ahead.
Say it loud. Super Bowl and proud.
Hey.
I'm in. I can't move like you, but
Don't be afraid.
Say it loud. Say it again. All right, we'll get into that when we come back. So glad you could join us Friday morning. He's Terry Foster. I'm Sean Blegion. This is Woodward Sports.
And let me tell you about the best morning show in the country.
Damn right.
That's Wake Up Woodward. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. live only here on the Woodward Sports Network. You can join Kool-Aid, Broder, Flannel Sam, KG, JB, Juices. They got an all-star crew every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's Wake Up Woodward. Make sure you guys check it out. It's a lot of fun. Only here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Premier Pet Supply is hands down the best pet store in the game. We were just at their beautiful location in Livonia yesterday. Got some great gifts for my dog, Holly. So if you want the best product for the best prices, go to Premier Pet Supply. It is Customer Appreciation Month this month, so you'll get a whole lot of extra perks. Find what you need, when you need, with their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Premier Pet Supply. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody.
We had a great time out there yesterday.
It was a lot of fun.
Just great people, great staff, and I'm with you. I have 2 dogs, love them to death, man. That's the spot. If you're looking for something, I mean, literally, it's a shopping center.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So we were just talking about this, and I'm gonna bring it up. So I'll get to Ben Johnson in a second, because I'm a firm believer that the best conversations and shows like this happen off the air. Okay, I am.
And we got to repeat them.
And I'm not going to use the word because, like, of course, we're on Fox 2. I am
not.
somebody who's been saying
We're not on Fox 2. You can let it fly.
fuck the Bears.
Yeah.
I've said that.
Here we go.
I've said that for years. When I was working with Joy, I said, Joy, I love you. I'm always going to be a fan, But when you became a member of the Chicago Bears, that fuck the Bears umbrella covered you too. So when I say fuck the Bears, that includes everybody, including you.
Can I say fuck Chicago?
You can say that too. Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
when I covered the Pistons, and of course they had the Pistons and Bulls rivalry, the women in the Bulls camp, they were mean to me.
Damn.
I mean, they were. Like, what are you doing here? I'm
Hoes.
here to cover practice. They were rude. 'Cause they, as soon as they found out you're from Detroit, and you're like, get the hell out of here.
Help me out, because I am somebody I like to try to call out the slappiness in this town too. All right? I'm a firm believer it's my job. And that's why I've always tried. Doesn't mean I'm always going to be right. I'm not always going to be right. But sometimes we get a little carried away with things, okay? See the 2021 Detroit Lions. Anybody with half a brain in their head knew that team wasn't going to be good. And Brad Holmes kind of designed it that way. And that's why he got the 2 extra picks. And, all right, if we suck this year, maybe that's not a bad thing because we get an extra high pick. But everybody and their brother was screaming, Lions limo, man, we're going to the playoffs, okay? This hype about the Chicago Bears right now, I'm sure I don't get it. The Packers, okay, I'm with you. Dangerous. They showed it last year. Jordan Love, dangerous. Don't be a slapdick and try to take away from that. We saw how that guy came on. The Chicago Bears have just been put together, okay? That's first and foremost. Secondly, and most importantly, they've got a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, knock it off. Are you new to this NFL thing? It doesn't usually work real well, Terry, for rookie quarterbacks in the National Football League.
They're so excited they got rid of Justin Fields. They think they bring in anybody. And Chicago Bears have had great success with quarterbacks lately. See, Mitch Trubisky, Justin Fields. They just run them in and run out. Caleb Williams, I think he's a talented guy, but they could be running his ass out in a couple years.
Are they dangerous? Yeah, you could make that argument. But they were dangerous last year because of Justin Fields. And I think Justin Fields proved that against the Detroit Lions on more than one occasion, I might add. But I think this trying to put the cart before the horse stuff with the Bears right now, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And so, I mean, you guys in the room, am I off base here? I mean, what's your level of fear of the Chicago Bears?
I have no fear of the Bears this year. However, for the next 4 to 5 years, I think they're going to be very dangerous.
I look out.
Yeah. And they could win this division over the next 4 to 5 years. But this year, they got the rookie quarterback. It's a bad organization. I'm still shaky about their coaching staff.
Yeah.
It's not happening this year.
I'm right there with Terry. 100%. I'm right there with Terry. 100%. I see the vision for the plan for a couple years. I think they need a couple interior linemen, but once they get those interior linemen and they fix the rest of the holes that they have, next 2-3 years, I am scared.
No doubt.
You know what? I'm going to strike you off the ballot. Shut up. The reason he's saying this motherfucker wants to go visit Sister Jean in the next 2 to 3 years. He goes, I'm going to see the Bears in the playoffs. Yeah, right. He's going to go see Sister Jean.
Why the fuck do I care about the Bears being in the playoffs?
Dude,
why the fuck would I travel there to go
Because
see
you want to see Sister Jean.
That has been established. That was something that's been established earlier in the show.
You like the whole broad.
And he's kind of thinking to himself, man, in a couple years, 107?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, can you imagine walking into the place and going, dude, 107, top that?
Knocked it
I'm
down.
not sure it can be done.
Right, this dude, the lady sheepishly would say, excuse me, I use Effordent. He like, so? Right there.
No, Terry, that's just it. And the cart before the horse stuff, I think, really applies for the Bears. Yes, I like the moves that they made. Yes, I understand that they're heading in a different direction. And even though I knew their coach years ago when I worked at Toledo, is he a head coach? Is definitely in play. Make no mistake about that. But far be it from me to accuse Chicago people of trying to put their teams on a pedestal that they don't belong. I think that's something that, in particular, Bears fans have done for many, many years. And the problem that I have, and this goes back to Justin, you and I were talking about this the other day about the Red Wings. Sometimes, now looking inward and putting the microscope on us, sometimes we have a tendency to sit back and say, it's all about our team and what we did, and not pay attention and say to yourself, now, wait a second. There are other teams in close proximity, perhaps even in our own division, that have been doing it the same way and maybe have more resources to do it than we do. And I think we're running into that with the Red Wings a little bit. Yes, what Steve Yzerman is doing is going like this. Yes, it's the smart play. But you know what's happened simultaneously? The Buffalo Sabres are doing it. The Montreal Canadiens are doing it. And all of a sudden, you're seeing these names go way up high on the list of prospect pools. And I think that same dynamic is happening here in Detroit. We've been waiting so long. We've been so desirous for a legitimate franchise. And don't take my word for it. Trust me, I've known Terry a long time. If Terry fucking Foster tells you this is a legitimate franchise, you know, by gosh, it's a legitimate franchise.
Damn Skippy.
That's the last guy that's going to say it.
Facts.
Trust me when I say that.
That's fact.
So with that being said, we have to remember, hey, guess what? The Lions aren't the only one that are building up. So are the Packers. And the Packers are a really dangerous team. Me personally, I wanted nothing to do with the Packers last year. Nothing. Playoff time, I wanted nothing to do with the Packers. And the Bears, while not at that level yet, guess what? They're doing the same thing that the Lions are just finishing up. This is a team that eventually is going to be, just not yet. I think this is a two-horse race this year.
Yeah, it is. But here, let me defend Chicago Bears fans from this standpoint. In the back of their mind, they see the Lions are up there, but they don't really believe that the Lions are going to sustain it over a couple years because they look at the history and say, okay, they had a cute season. Mm-hmm. Yes, they were dangerous, but they're not going to do it again.
Right.
So when you're a Bears fan, you're like, okay, got to worry about Green Bay. We can beat Green Bay, and the Lions, cute story, but they're not going to sustain it. So that's where they're coming from. I think they're full of it.
Pinch your little cheeks.
They're very cute.
Pinch your little cheeks.
Yeah, they just say, oh, the little Lions are cutie pies. Ooh.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, they won 7 games this year.
You have to prove it. And that's, you know what, the one thing that I like about this franchise and this coaching staff right now is, yeah, you can do camp happy times. Yeah, you can hold hands and sing everything is awesome. Don't hand out any damn popsicles, okay?
Please.
But I think, and you hear it starts with Dan Campbell, both things can be true. I can talk up how this player or that player or this unit has stepped up, but at the same time also acknowledge now they have to prove it. Now I want to see how ferocious this secondary is when the opportunity provides itself. And that's what I like about these guys, because of course you're going to talk positive about what's going on with your team. But the flip side to that is, no, sometimes everything's not awesome, and these guys have to prove it on tape. And that's, I think, Terry, what we're all waiting to see.
We are. But I will admit this. I am buying into the Terry Arnold thing.
100%.
Although I don't believe rookie cornerbacks can be good.
We're on the couch
For some
together,
reason,
Terry.
I'm just believing this brother.
We're on the couch together, Terry.
Yep.
Remember, we're on the couch together.
And I'm
The
on the
Lions
couch
smack.
next door with Ennis
Okay.
Rakestraw.
Yep.
I'm on the couch next door.
The Lions smack.
Which reminds me, we got to go get some couches from Gardner White.
Yeah.
Because when the Lions win the Super Bowl, we get all our furniture for free.
Yep.
Yeah?
It's true.
Is that true?
It's true.
I never knew that. Really?
Oh, yeah. Gardner White is running a deal. If you buy furniture now, and if the Lions win the Super Bowl, whatever you bought today is free. They'll refund your money back.
That's crazy promo right there.
Yeah.
Justin's getting a truck and driving to Chicago. He's going to plant those seeds with Sister Jean, baby. He's going to put food on Sister Jean.
Hey, Sister Jean, you need a mattress?
Look what I bought for you, Sister
Right.
Jean.
Take her
I can
down
take
on
my
a
shirt
futon.
off and put it all out for you. You are not going to deny that young man shirtless.
Yeah.
All right, hey, we got a lot left in the show. We got to figure out new and
Justin,
inventive ways to enter Justin and Sister Jean into the equation. If you guys in the chat have any thoughts, we
Oh,
can do that
God.
as well. As I mentioned, we do want to get into Ben Johnson talking about the defensive upgrades. Dan Orlovsky ranking Jared Goff 5th in the NFC at quarterback as well. Lots to do. He's Terry. I'm Sean. This is Big D Energy.
And let me tell you about Lady Jane's, because awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Presented by McLaren. It's back August 22nd through the 25th at Warwick Hills. Leave the golf to the pros, but don't miss the party at 17. $2 birdie beers, concerts, and more. Get your tickets at allichallenge.com. Brought to you by Randy Wise Automotive.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. They're professional technicians. Take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Dude. So in case you missed it yesterday, and Terry, I'm going to ask you because you're the real legitimate journalist in here.
Journalist.
How much of what you hear in camp do you really take in and say that's legitimate? Where's the filter, so to speak, when you hear some of these coaches and some of these players talk?
I would say 75 to 80%. Because in training camp, everything is great.
Yep.
And everybody's good. Everybody's just
best shape of their career.
Best shape of their career. The offense looks great. The defense looks great. I'm going to say 80% because this team is legit. Now, do you know when I heard the Lions had the best practices?
I remember.
4-0-16.
You got it.
Every time we go, hey, how's practice? Oh, the best practices ever.
Don't forget 4-0 in the preseason that year.
4-0. The last guy I talked to, their last preseason game was in Buffalo. I talked to Cliff Averill, and I said they're 4-0 in the preseason. Excuse me, I said, Cliff, if somebody looked at your tape right now on the Detroit Lions, what would they see? He said they'd see it leaping off the tape. They used tape back then, and that's how good we are. I'm like, all right. I wrote it down. Cliff Averill says the tape is leaping out of it. Man, this is out of space stuff. And they go 0-16.
Yep.
But I'm going to say 75% because everything isn't great, no matter how good you are.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on most of the stuff.
I'll piggyback on what he said. You know, I'll never forget. Matt Millen used to walk around and glad hand and hug everybody, and, you know, he was your best friend. And that, if you remember, Terry, that summer he was very quiet. And then he came out and very quietly with his beard. Remember, he grew that beard.
Yeah.
He said very quietly, not like Matt Millen. He said, "Well, in the past, I've talked a lot about this team. I decided this year I'm going to let this team do the talking because we really like what we have here."
Oh, they did.
And boy, did they do the talking.
They did the talking, all right.
Oh, did they do the talking?
No, they were mine.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Rod Marinelli
And I'm
and
with
his
you.
shovel.
I always use the analogy. It's like, the Legoland movie. Everybody's just skipping around singing, everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. So there is a filter that you have to use. Whether you say 80%, whether you say 50%, there is a filter that you have to use. And I think we have to all be cautious. But when you hear a guy like Ben Johnson saying this about the defense, how much of it do you take in? How much of it do you think is legitimate? In case you missed it, Spenny, here he is talking about the defensive upgrades.
Are there any defensive standouts from your perspective, just watching from the offensive side?
Oh, shoot. I mean, I think it's across the board, to be completely honest with you. Up front, Aiden and Aleem, as you would think. We tried to double team Aleem the other day. We could barely move him off the ball. He's got a low center of gravity and did a really nice job on us. The second level, those guys are all coming back. I mean, between Anzalone's, he's seeing our mic point, this, that, and the other, and he kind of knows what's going on at this point. So we're going to have to start getting some dummy calls on him and keep him honest. But obviously the biggest adjustment has been these corners. They're coming up, they're pressing us, they're challenging us, and we need that type of work. The more one-on-ones we can get in practice with the pads on it are going to be helpful for our guys releasing versus press. But these guys are fearless. They have a swagger, and some mistakes that they were making early in camp, we got them on a few deep balls, before the pads got on. They've cleaned that stuff up. So you see improvement every day from the back end.
All right, of course, that's Ben Johnson. And listen, again, please take this in the context in which I'm saying it. I'm not saying that he or anybody else is sitting up there bullshitting with y'all. I'm not saying that, okay? And I like to hear that they're giving the offense a run for their money. I like to hear about Aleem McNeil. I like to hear those things. Don't get me wrong, but Terry, this is where we go back and say, all right, there's maybe already a concern about what's happened at the edge. Now you got the Kaminsky situation, and this is where I say, how much of that do we actually take in and go, okay, this could be a really special unit?
I think I'm going to stick with my 75 to 80% legit. I don't think they're going to be a special unit, but they'll be better than they were last year. And I think it's more difficult to be a special defensive unit in today's NFL because of the rules. You can't put your hands on anybody, especially if you're a DB. So I just don't think special defenses exist anymore. But you can be a pretty good defense, and I think the Lions are trending towards being a pretty good defense. One thing they talked about consistently over the last couple of years is being violent. That means they're going to knock your head off. They're going to be after the ball. Because one of the things the Lions didn't do for years, they never turned the ball over, or they never made people turn the ball over. They would just try to tackle you, and you can't do that. In the NFL, you got to create turnover and chaos on defense to be successful. If you don't do that, offenses will move the ball up the field. At the very worst, get the ball deep in your territory where they'll kick a field goal or they'll back your offense inside the 10-yard line. You got to take the ball away. And I think this year's team, not saying it's going to happen, but the focus is going to be get the football back and give it to our offense.
I love to hear you say that because and not that long ago when people like me said this, it was heresy, and you had all the 3-year lettermen at Livonia Stevenson or Westland John Glenn going, what on earth you don't know anything about football. This league has changed. The rules of this league have changed. The way the game is called has changed, okay? The defense wins championships line, it isn't real anymore. Not the way that they punish defense. As Terry said, he's 100% right. So you know what you do? I want that opportunistic defense. I want that defense that's going to get the ball back and put the ball back into my quarterback's hands. That's the kind of defense that I want, those ball hawks, because that's the reality of the league today. I'm not saying that I like it. I kind of miss those smash mouth defenses. It was a blast to watch the Ravens. It was a blast to watch the 85 Bears. But that, Terry, that's our league today. That's the National Football League. They are punishing defenses, period.
And so the only way you can succeed as a defense is to punish the offense back.
Yep.
By snatching that ball away from them. Knocking the tar out of somebody.
Yeah. All right,
That's
so
the way it is. Oh, and you know what else? There's no such thing. And everybody says, "Oh, you know the Lions, they need a shutdown cornerback." They don't exist. There's no such thing as a shutdown cornerback in today's league. You can be good. You can have more success than failures, but you can't shut anybody down.
the way it's called today, you know, like I always use Deion Sanders as an example, okay? Deion Sanders was a shutdown guy. Guys didn't go on their side of the field. His teammates were the guys that had 6, 7 interceptions, whereas Deion had 1 or 2 because guys weren't going that way. You have too many guys and too many patterns running all over the place now, man. That's just the way it is. You could still be one of the best in the league, and I would love it if one of these guys developed into a guy that not just us around here, but, you know, you're watching the talking heads on ESPN. You're seeing people on Twitter going, hey, man, look, and I looked at all the numbers. My man's a stud. He's one of the best in the league. But, Terry, I'm with you. Shut down corner, I think that's a thing of the past.
Yeah, and we see a thing with the Lions offense. Let's say it's 3rd and 7. You know they're going to Amon-Ra St. Brown. The defense knows they're going to him. Everybody in the arena knows they're going to go to him on 3rd and 7. So what do? They go to Amon on 3rd and 7, complete it for 9, 10 yards, first down. Let's keep going.
Yep. All right, I have a question for all you guys, not only in the chat, but all the guys in here, and we'll save it for when we come back in the break. Ben Johnson was talking about the battle for the wide receiver 3. Is there a guy that you have a circle around? Don't tell me now. We'll do it when we come back. Woodward Sports.
Let me tell you about Swiss Insurance, because now it is a perfect time to get your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Call Mark at SwissINS.com today at 313-530-1698. At SwissINS.com. Again, 313-530-1698. It's Swiss Insurance. You know they're the best in the game.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 enticing teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheerleading at BGCSM. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play the championship game at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BG CSM 3C Sports. I'll tell you what, I got to play my championship game for IM basketball on the Breslin court. That was pretty sweet. We won too. Shout out to Mark D'Antonios, 12-0, undefeated. Division III IM basketball champions. That was really cool though.
You know what a good sign is that your franchise is in a good place? And you guys have seen this in your life. I'm not playing we've been around for this. Is when you're talking about some of these position battles, like number 3 wide receiver, and you take a look at the names, and you got legitimate talent in there.
Yeah.
Terry, how many times over the years did you and I sit back and, they were talking about, well, this guy is up for this gig, that guy's up for that gig, and you look at those names and you're like, Scotty Anderson? Like, is this real? Again, I cannot say enough about what Brad Holmes has been able to do to build this roster with talent, where you could sit back, if you say you think this guy's the clubhouse leader, Justin or Spenny, any of the guys, you say that guy's the clubhouse leader, I'm not going to look at you and go, okay, you're crazy. Yeah. No, I get it. Unless you bring up Tom Kennedy. But other than that, right. That's what I'm talking about.
If you're talking about your number 3 receiver, I don't know who that's going to be. You're in pretty good shape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're not talking about 1 or 2. You're not talking about the linemen. You're not talking about defensive tackles. You're talking about who's going to be the number 3 receiver. That's a hell of a place to be in.
Wonderful place. Speaking of which, Ben Johnson had some comments about just that.
Receiver spot. You have a lot of different guys with different skill sets, it seems like. Is there a particular blueprint that you look for in a third wide receiver at this point in camp?
Yeah, we've been pretty consistent as a staff, really since we knew that Josh Reynolds was leaving us, and that has been we need smart, we need reliable, okay, and if we had to be picky, we want a little bit of length, okay, just so it rounds out those 3 guys that we're anticipating entering the season with. So, with that being said. We're charting every single day who's the most reliable, mental errors, who's catching the ball, who's dropping the ball. These guys see it. They get the feedback every single day. They know what's going on. They know they're in the midst of the battle right now. We got a number of guys competing for that spot. Reese has certainly come on so far in training camp. His physicality, his explosiveness has shown up. Antoine Green is still pushing on along here. We see growth from the springtime. We just need to see the consistency that we've been hoping for from him. DPJ has made some big plays for us. He had a big block just the other day in practice that we took note of. And we know what Khalif Raymond is. Like, he's not to be overlooked either, because he's going to be a big part of our offense as well. So the competition is healthy. Those are a few names, but everyone is in it at this point.
All right. So I asked all the boys in the room, Terry, I'll ask you as well, if you have a favorite. We'll get to that momentarily, but Justin told me something that makes my tummy hurts. Stick around for that first. But okay. Spenny, I'm going to start with you. Is there a guy that you got to circle around and you say that's my 3?
I think it's Darius Fountain. I do. He's a big body guy. He's 6'2", 220 pounds. You put him out the edge. He is the guy in camp that's been making the contested catches, the 50-50 balls, the big plays in the end zone. And when you look at what they need out of a wide receiver 3 in this offense, the wide receiver 3 is probably the 5th option in the passing attack.
Yes, sir.
So you don't need someone who's going to be getting 10 targets a game. They're going to be getting 3-4 targets maybe a game. So having a guy out there that you don't have, that big body, that jump ball threat, I think it's him, honestly. I think he's leading the clubhouse right now, and we'll see. Obviously, for him, preseason is going to be huge to see him out there in live action, but I would say he's leading the clubhouse right now.
All right, go around the room.
All right, if I had to pick, I would say Khalif Raymond, just because they know what they have in Khalif. He's a guy that can move the chains, find holes in the zone, and make big catches. But I think they take more of a committee approach, to the number 3 role. Like Spenny said, when you have a Amon-Ra St. Brown, a J-Mo, a Sam Laporta, then you got Gibbs out the backfield, the wide receiver 3, they're really not going to see that much action. But if they use a rotation, you have guys like DPJ, Dorrance Fountain, Antoine Green. So yeah, I think they're in a good spot regardless of who wins the job. But I would say Khalif Raymond.
I'm in on the committee. I just think that there's so many ways that you could split it up. They all are versatile. They all bring different things to this offense. You have Fountain, who's an X receiver. You have Khalif Raymond, who's a slot receiver. And then you have a freak athlete in DPJ, and that's not even mentioning Antoine Green. So I just feel like there's a bunch of versatility and a bunch of different roles that you can use, and it's plug and play. Whoever fits better for that play, that series, even if it's who's hot, who's playing well.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be a committee.
Terry, where are you leaning?
I'm leaning towards this. Spinny, God bless you, but you fell for the flavor of the month club. There's always a dude in Lions training camp that's like, where did he come from? He's been released 4 times.
That's true.
And
Scotty Anderson.
Always say, oh, this guy is the second coming. We developed him. We don't know where he came from. He's great. And then you never hear from him again.
Like Dylan Drummond last year.
I'm going to stick with Khalif Raymond because he's at least played in the league.
I know what he is. It is what you're describing. If you guys don't remember this name, there was a guy named Scotty Anderson that for 2 years Matt Millen tried to tell anybody that would listen. He was forget about just being a good receiver. That what this guy does in practice, he's the practice warrior. What was the quote? The training camp warrior and everything. And my goodness gracious, every time that guy got on the field, he looked completely lost. And again, there's a reason guys like this kick around the league a little bit. And that's not to say that a guy can't find himself after a period of time, okay? Chris Carter was a guy going way back in the day that was a mess. And a lot of it was, the self-inflicted mess stuff.
He was clowning. He's a clown.
He was a clown. And you know what? Once he figured it out, it was like he became one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. But I tend to agree with you, Terry. There's a reason that a lot of these guys kind of kick around. I mean, these NFL people kind of know what they're doing, and the chances of a dude falling between the cracks, they aren't very high.
Or maybe he found himself. Who knows? It's always possible. But I just know this franchise is always pumping somebody up and saying, man, next stop, Canton.
Well, and to that point, I think there's a reason why a guy that's been kicking for a while was kind of kicking in the USFL a little bit. I think Justin has some more on that. Justin?
So today out of camp, shout out Jeremy Reisman for the information.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Big Jeremy.
Jake Bates was 8 for 14 kicking field goals. He seemed to be struggling from the 40 to 50 range, and then he was only 5 for 7 on extra points.
Whoops.
Damn.
Whoopsie daisy. That is not good news. Maybe it's because it's a monsoon out there.
It's raining, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the ball is slippery. I don't know.
Isn't that what people have said about Jake Bates, though? Like, to me, if you want to end what people are saying about you, well, then end what people are saying about you.
Yeah.
Because nobody was complaining about the length. Dude can bang him. I mean, he can bang him. He's 50, 60, no problem. And this is an era now where, Terry, it used to be a big deal not that long ago for dudes like you and I, if you could hit 48-yarders. Wow, man, that guy's now you're routinely seeing dudes hit 55, 56. But hasn't that been the book on Mr. Bates? He can hit those long field goals, but he might go 8 of 14 from 25 to 45. He might miss you some extra points. Again, there's a reason why a guy like that is kind of kicked around and found himself kicking for the Michigan Panthers.
Right. And you know what? I would have gambled too.
Right.
Once I saw the 62, 64-yard field goal, I said, why not? Because it hasn't been working here before. May as well try. You know what? You know who I would have signed a few years ago? Kickalicious. Remember him?
Yeah. Oh, who can forget?
Yeah. Right. I would have tried him.
Harvin Rugland, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Never made it out of camp.
Can't miss. He was going to change the way that the kicks are taken in the National Football League. No, it is amazing though. I mean, you know, for as much as we talk about the passing game and how much it's changed, I mean, guys, I can't tell you when Dan Marino threw 48 touchdowns and over 5,000 yards, that was earth-shattering. And the fact that it didn't really happen for another 25 years, if anything, shows to me exactly how earth-shattering it was. Now, this field goal situation, Terry, just like that, dudes are routinely hopping out there. Matt Prater, 55 yards, no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Guys are hitting from 60. That's shit that didn't happen. Like, not that long ago, that's not shit that happened. So I get it, and I'm with you. I'm not saying that it's over for Jake Bates. I'm not saying it was stupid to try him. But for all the talk about the 60-yarders, dude, if you're rolling 8 for 14, and that was kind of the knock against a guy, I don't want that guy on my team. It's time to look elsewhere.
It seems like gambling Dan Campbell's back.
He was going to do
He
that
may
anyway.
try a 65-yarder one, but he won't trust him from 35.
Hitting those die. Hitting that die. All right. I want to hear where you are at with Jared Goff. I don't care who you are. You got to give the guy his flowers. You have to. All right? Spenny, you and I talked about it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of those guys. Jared Goff was a throw-in in the Matthew Stafford deal. Yeah. Absolute throw-in. Right? He wasn't going to be the quarterback. To me, it was all about the picks. What made that pick or what made that deal extraordinary is you got yourself a pretty darn good quarterback in Jared Goff and a guy who's comfortable where he's at because they put him in positions of comfortability. Is there rage? Is there anger over Dan Orlovsky ranking Jared Goff? Gasp. 5th best quarterback in the NFC. We'll get into that next. He's Terry Foster. I'm Sean Baligia. This is Woodward Sports.
And let me tell you about Mark White, because if you're looking of buying a new home but feeling the financial pinch, Mark White and Associates are here to help. They will pay $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. I said $5,000. Call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. It's Mark White. They're here to help.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer since 1996. Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the closest location near to you. Catch Woodward Sports live every Tuesday, or every other Tuesday, from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. We'll be there next week. It's Feldman, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
All right, welcome back in. Glad you can join us. 12:15, Big D Energy. Terry Foster, Sean Baligian. We're in for Neil Rule and Darren McCarty. I don't know what the vibe has been on this. I didn't see a lot of people talking about it, but I'm going to have to lean on Spenny about this. Spenny, Dan Orlovsky came out with his list of the top quarterbacks in the NFC. In case you missed it, he had Jared Goff at #5. Am I supposed to get worked up over that? Are you supposed to get worked up over that?
I think the notable things in the list are that he had Matt Stafford at #1 in the NFC, and above Jared Goff, he had both Jordan Love and Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Ahead of Jared Goff. So that's what people are up in arms about.
And Kirk above Goff, but he retracted that statement on ESPN yesterday.
Yeah, so I said, yeah, he had both Jordan Love and Kirk Cousins above Jared. Jared was 5, Kirk Cousins was 4. I think Jordan Love was 3.
Yeah, who was 3?
Jordan Love.
Okay. Where's Dak Prescott?
He's not on the
Dak
list.
Prescott was not on the list.
Good.
I believe Jalen Hurts was number 2, and then
No,
Jalen Hurts
it
was 6.
Brock Purdy and Matt Stafford.
Brock Purdy was 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is,
it doesn't matter to me. It matters to me, can Jared Goff run this offense?
Yep.
Is Jared Goff going to go 6 or 8 games without a turnover, or is he going to have 6 to 8 turnovers in 2 games? That's all that matters to me. I don't, how does he fit in with this offense? Because if you're a quote unquote expert who knows everything about the NFL, you could take quarterback 3 through 12 and just flip them. Like a junk. They're all the same. It's what you like. So if he's 5th, so what? If he's 3rd, so what? If he's 12th, so what?
Putting a quarterback in positions of comfortability is like, it should be the most obvious thing. But unfortunately, when you're talking about the National Football League, you're talking about ego coming into the picture.
Yep.
And these coaches sit back and say, I know what Terry Foster does well. My system can make Terry Foster that much better. And we saw that here, if you remember, with Lombardi and Stafford. It was really the whole trying to pound the square peg into the round hole. It was never going to work. So what do? You say, this is what my quarterback does well, and you put him in positions of comfortability. Because, Spenny, I don't know about you. You're a recovering golfaholic as well, right?
Yes.
Okay? For me, what terrified me the most about Goff is when he was under pressure and he started seeing ghosts.
Yes.
There's no other way to say it. He started seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
And you could watch it. Terry, you could visibly watch him seeing ghosts and the short arms and the panic-stricken and everything. That doesn't mean that it goes away. We saw it a couple times last year. But to your point, Terry, you know what I want to see? I want to see that in brief glimpses, as opposed to that couple of games where, oh my gosh, dude turned the ball over 7 times in the last 2.5 games. You can't have that. And I think because of this offensive line and because of the weapons at his disposal, guess what? We're not seeing that Jared Goff anymore.
Yep.
I think most quarterbacks in the NFL are scared because these are some grown-ass men coming after you. They're like 6'8", 320, running 4.5 40s. I mean, you used to have some fat dude chasing you. He'd be like 5'10", 260, waddling. Now you got dudes that should be kicking LeBron James's ass in the NBA coming after you. They should be in the Olympics, running in the 100-meter finals. It's different now. You got some stone-cold athletes coming at you. So I think every quarterback is scared. Even Patrick Mahomes.
No question.
He gets fidgety sometimes.
No question.
So you put him in a good position, you protect him, and then you don't have to hear about he folds under pressure. I think anybody will fold under pressure.
Most quarterbacks
if
do.
they got it in this league.
I think Jalen Hurts is like woefully underrated personally, and I don't care if I'm a lone wolf there. I think Jalen Hurts is woefully underrated. I would take him over a lot of the guys mentioned on that list. I would. And you know what? He's another one of those guys. Does he necessarily look flashy doing things? Nah, but I've watched that guy get work done. Now, last year notwithstanding, there's a team that has to answer a bunch of questions because whatever the bleep happened last year to that team, it fell apart hard for that team last year. But at the end of the day, I don't have any problem looking at that going, yeah, okay, I get that guy. I get that guy. Listen, as a Spartan fan, if you don't know Kirk Cousins by now, you're not paying attention. I mean, Spenny, I think you'll get my back here. I'm always going to root for the guy. Here's another good guy. But we all know what Kirk Cousins is, right? We all know that.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, he's gonna have some of those moments where I don't like that, and I don't like that at all. And he's gonna have those long period of times, and A lot of people make the joke it's always 1 o'clock games on a Sunday. I don't know if it's factually true or not, but I once saw a meme kind of categorizing, some of his less than performances. But I'm with you. I think sometimes people get too wrapped up in the whole disrespect thing, okay? Because today, if you're like me and you're like Spenny, guys who not that long ago were going, stop it, Jared Goff isn't going to be the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
If they haven't acknowledged that and confessed their sins, Sister Jean, confess their sins, as both Spenny and I have, well, that's their fault. You can't play the disrespect card anymore.
Be
They're just
careful.
stupid.
Hey, be careful what you wish for over there, bro. Don't be talking about the disrespect stuff because the Lions live off of that. That's a thing that makes them
Can we drop
great.
that?
Huh?
Can we drop that?
No, don't drop it.
You still want it?
Yes. Because if it motivates them, that makes them a better team. Let them go around bitching about how people disrespect. Who cares? As long as they're winning.
It's almost, it's kind of funny though. You just brought that up, and this just popped in my head. I know that people got so pissed off at SOL. People got, really, really pissed off in the last couple of years. You know the best way to get rid of SOL is do what you did last year. Now, if somebody wants to drop SOL, you know what you can say? You can go seriously. You can go straight to hell. Because how on earth is winning a division and winning 2 playoff games same old Lions? A team that has a playoff win.
It's not. But, however, there is one blockade of SOL that still exists that they have to overcome this season. We talked about the 91 team.
Mm-hmm.
When they won 12 games, made the playoffs, won a playoff game. Then what the Lions teams of the 90s did, they win 10, 11 games with their last place schedule. When they got the first place schedule, which you're going to have this year, then they win 5 games or 6 games, and they'd be out of the playoffs. So to me, this is the last hurdle that they need to overcome. They need to have a very good season this year with a first place schedule. Then you can officially drop every last bit of same old Lions.
Can we, and at the same time, unless there are people out there right now, and I get it, we're still too early to go, into the deep weeds of who the favorites are and everything. If some Yahoo says the Lions are going to finish third and 8-9 or 9-8 or something like that, we can play that card. But correct me if I'm wrong. All right, seriously, if you guys have seen, I don't hear people nationally talking about the Lions like that. I hear a lot of people nationally. Maybe not as far as us saying Super Bowl or bust, but I hear everybody and their brother kind of giving the Lions the flowers, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Because they realize this is a different team.
We'll wait and see. I can't wait for this. And listen, again, I'll be the first guy to say it. It's fake football. I'm not going to put too much into it, and I'm going to avoid social media like the plague after some of these exhibition games with people. Like, again, you're talking about deciding moments in fourth quarters of the game where 85% of the guys on the field in the fourth quarter of that game are not going to be on either team. It's just the reality of the situation.
You're more likely to see him at Burger King.
Right. Well, you know what I do to a fiery Whopper right now, by the way? Doesn't that sound? But listen.
It's every time around noon. You just got to bring up food.
I know.
Like, I'm trying my best over
this
here.
This shift, dude, that's what I don't know what it is.
This happens right in the middle of lunch. You're supposed to eat lunch at 12, 11:45, 12:15. This is 11 to 1, so you're going to get hungry.
Yep.
I'm really hungry.
No
right
doubt.
Now.
Yeah,
but to the point, listen, you know what's going to happen, and people are going to make, I can't believe the Lions blew that game. SOL. That's shit that happens.
They're going to blow games.
But Terry,
blows.
in the exhibition season, these people that have those conversations, so like I have a rule: an hour after those exhibition games, I just avoid social media like a plague because I cannot deal with that shit.
Yeah.
So wait a second. All the guys in this room gave up a touchdown to all the guys in the other room who we're all going to be back in that room a month from now, and I'm supposed to say that that's going to be the Lions season. Like, come on, wake the frick up,
Fans are not bright. They're not.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
They panic over everything. Look, last season, What about the panic in this town after the Seattle game?
Oh, yeah.
The panic after the Ravens game.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yep.
Panic, both Chicago games.
Yep.
Even though they won.
Yep.
One of them.
Yep.
Panic. But I understand it because you are always used to Lucy pulling the football away, and then once it starts to go bad, it's bad.
All right.
Not happening anymore.
Couple things I want to get into. You know, there's a reason I don't gamble. No, I'm not trying to take the moral high ground. I don't gamble. Like if I'm in Vegas, I might go to Mandalay and spend a college football afternoon in there. But I don't gamble, and I'll tell you why I don't gamble. Because I thought the Detroit Pistons over/under of 26.5 last year was free money. And so when I saw how they failed miserably doing it, it reminded me why I don't gamble. I don't, no offense to any of you. If you have 50 apps on your phone, I would have put so much on the Detroit Pistons over 26.5 last year, I'd be begging in the streets right now. Want to get some thoughts on that. Want to ask Terry about Connor Stallions and CMU. Look, I know what that doco is going to be. You know what that doco is going to be. Gosh damn it, I want to watch it.
Yep.
And I want to start getting some more answers because I think one of the problems in society today is we're all told we didn't see what we actually saw. Like, and it happens all over the place. Politically, sports-wise, and these people. Oh, dude, that wasn't Connor Stallions. Oh, that was Spencer Rackster. Put Spencer and Connor Stallions up next to each other. They look exactly the same. In fact, that was Spencer trying to act like Connor Stallions to try to get Michigan football in trouble.
He doesn't have a beard? A grown man can't grow a beard.
We all knew who it was, right? Can we be adult now and all admit it?
It was Connor Stallions.
It was Connor Stallions.
I was up there that week.
You know what? So was I.
Terry let Connor Stallions in on the field.
He had the chip card.
Yeah.
Terry, no, only chip members, and then Connor pulled out the chip card. And Terry said, "Right this way, sir."
Yeah, he flashed his Central Michigan Hall of Fame badge, and Connor walked right in
for free anyway. So. Let everybody in.
He's Terry Foster. I'm Sean Belegian. Glad you could join us on a Friday afternoon. Big D Energy Woodward Sports.
Well, if you just out of nowhere find your dying love for Sister Jean, but you are stuck with a wife, you need to call KDK Law because they handle divorce, family, and all child custody issues. Kevin and Catherine in Birmingham have been doing this for a while. They'll make sure you get the best return possible. You screenshot this, scan the QR code, show it to them. They'll pay your filing fee. It's Kevin and Catherine. If you need to get out of your relationship because you love Sister Jean, just make sure you hit them up and they'll make it happen. KDK Law in Birmingham.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC in Dearborn. If you see me cruising around in the Blazer, you know I got it at Les Stanford. Shout out to Ryan Ermanni. Shout out to Western Stanford. If you want that same amazing deal I got, good luck. But if you want great work and a great person to take care of you, hit up Les Stanford. They're the best in the game. Les Stanford, together, let's ride.
All right. I love college football. I think anybody who knows me, I mean, I love college football. For me personally, no disrespect to anybody else out there, I've watched, Terry, in my life, I've watched college football kind of go like this away from the NFL in recent years. I really have. Just one man's opinion, okay? I don't think there's a better experience in all of sports. And Justin, I'm a hockey guy first like you, but I don't think there's a better experience in all of sports than being on campus on a Saturday morning. Terry, I don't know what it is. I love it.
Well, you got the tailgate,
right?
You got the booze, you got the babes, and you got that clean, clear air no matter where you are.
It's awesome. I think it's one of the coolest experiences in sports. But this year is going to be a whole heck of a lot of different, okay? And I think we're going into uncharted territory, obviously, with the 12-team playoff. And I think we also have to look at the fact that, you know what, the reality is you might have a really good team. Let's use Michigan as an example. And if you're a Michigan fan and you get offended at that, I'll use Oregon as an example, okay? But you might have a really good 9-3 team that doesn't make the playoff. That, man, look who we beat. Look at our body of work. And what you now have to do is go, okay, who did you lose to? Because if you lost to Ohio State and Oregon is 10-2 and you lost to Texas out of the SEC and they're 9-3 but out of the SEC, and oh, by the way, they beat you, boom, right there, not only the champions of the conference, but all those teams are going to go past you, plus the at-large. And I don't know what to make of it, Terry.
You're overthinking it.
Okay.
Relax.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Sit your ass down and just enjoy it. I think this season is going to be great. The Big Ten is actually a legitimate conference.
I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Before, I mean, like Michigan last year, all you had to do was beat Ohio State. Who else was good?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Penn State
Big
was
Ten
so
championship
fraudulent.
last year was joke.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So this year, you got to worry about Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, Penn
Texas.
State. Going to be good.
I can't buy the James Franklin thing ever.
They'll
I can't.
be
I'm sorry.
good, but not great.
Yeah.
You still got to beat them.
No, I get what you're saying.
They're gonna benefit from their weak schedule. Their schedule is extremely weak, and I honestly looked at it, and I have no faith in Franklin. I have no faith in Aller, and it looks like they're only gonna lose 2 games.
Well, you know, I mean, the thing that you have to remember if you follow the Franklin, and I think at this point in time he's established a Franklin, is he's probably going to win a game where everybody's going to go, well, man, I can't believe Penn State did that, right? And conversely, there's going to be one of those games where his boneheaded decisions flat out lead to one of those losses where like an hour later you're going, I still can't believe I watched that. That's kind of been his.
But he's going to have talent on the field.
Yeah.
So you're not going to beat him 54-0.
No. So Terry, I'm with you. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to sit back and enjoy it, the newness of it and everything. But at the same time, it's the fear of the unknown. It is okay, what are we really walking into, and what is this board going to look like? And I think some people that are saying, well, it should be an open door to get into the playoff. For some of the reasons that you just gave, I'll pull a Lee Corso and say, not so fast, my friend, because there are going to be multiple teams in the Big Ten alone that might have a better argument than your team will, whether you be a Michigan fan or a Ohio State fan, et cetera, et cetera.
But here's the other, and this is going to be more pressure on the coaches. If you don't make a 12-team playoff, that means your season was a failure.
Yeah.
If you're one of the big boys, like if Alabama should always be in the playoffs, Michigan should always be in the playoffs. And if you don't mean it, that means you don't deserve it. You probably lost 4 games. If Michigan loses 3 games, they're going to get them in that playoff. Don't worry about it.
100% T-Foss. Keeping Michigan out when your conference is this powerful and has this many high-level teams in it, like you're looking at possibly 4 teams from the Big Ten that could make the playoff. And to leave out the former national champion is also disservice. That's going to be that nice little caveat that if it's 2 9-3 teams, I don't give a shit about strength of schedule. I don't care about strength of record. It's going to go to Michigan because they're the former national champions.
What if it's Texas? Just for the sake of an argument. What if it's Texas out of the SEC?
It would be Texas.
Who also beat Michigan.
Texas has to beat Michigan.
Right, but do you understand why? That's what I'm saying. I mean, especially now with these out-of-conference schedules being what they are.
Yeah.
You know, we don't see as much directional schools. You're still going to see it, but now some of these boys are going to say, let's go.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. You know, this helps the cause. And that's the kind of point. We didn't have to think about that in years gone by. You didn't have to worry about one of those games haunting you unless the unthinkable happened. Well, now, if all things are considered equal, if it's Texas out of the SEC and Michigan out of the Big Ten, and they're both 9-3,
they're always going to favor the SEC,
right? And I'm going, and all of a sudden, hook 'em horns. I'm going. We beat you. What the hell are you talking about? We played earlier this year. We beat you.
Those are the that was early in the season.
Yeah.
Regardless. Y'all lost.
Those are the conversations that, are we prepared to have those conversations? Because
you know what? Here's what I'm sick and tired of. In September, we're playing college football, right?
Yeah.
Who's coming to town? Bowling Green, VMI.
Right.
God bless my school, CMU. Who cares?
Michigan State's out of conference schedule. Spenny will agree. Michigan State's out of conference schedule is a gosh damn joke. It is. It's a gosh damn joke.
Nebraska every year, Pacific.
Yeah.
It's those are exhibition games.
Those
are disappearing.
Right. Florida Atlantic, Prairie Valley, AMU, at BC. Those are the types of things, and that's why somebody you're such a Spartan. Look at their schedule. If they can't get to 6 wins with that, I'm serious. It's a hell of a lot worse than we already know it to be. And so that's where I'm at with that. But that's the difference, T-Foss. You're right. You still have some of those schools that have some of those schedules, but a lot of the quote-unquote big boys, the blue bloods, are sitting there going, okay, well, we got Texas. We got Michigan. We got Oregon. And that's what's going to be intriguing, because if all of a sudden all those guys are playing musical chairs in the first week of December, and that music stops, I might go all hook 'em horns on your ass and go, Michigan, we beat you. We're both 9-3. We're out of the SEC. We beat you. Those are things that they're intriguing to me.
Right.
How they're going to play
Do you
it
like
out.
to be entertained?
Yes.
Okay, and you love college football.
Love it.
Do you get your jollies off when Michigan is playing Bowling Green the second week of September?
Absolutely not.
You don't? Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right. So that's my point. I think college football is a joke until this year, because you had Michigan coming in with Bowling Green, VMI, Navy. My first football game that I ever went to was the Big House. It's Michigan Navy. I think they beat them 70-14. If I was a kid, I had a great time. If you're a college football fan, really?
I did a game when I was broadcasting for Toledo. Toledo went to the Horseshoe, and I think it was 56-0, and it was 100 times worse than that. It was 49-0 at the half, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably called the dogs off.
And John Cooper, I shit you not, called a halfback option right before halftime. They were up 42-0. 42-0, in-state rival, pitches it to his halfback. He throws a touchdown. Like, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, you are. I got no other way to say that. You're an asshole. And so what I heard from the Buckeye fans, it's amazing how life works itself out. I'll leave it at that. Look at Justin getting that shirt out already for Sister G. Look at him, man. But no, you know what? This was, I shit you not, this is what people said. Well, in a game like that, you can practice a play like that because you never know. You never know when you have to use that in a big game. And I'm like, wait a second. Halfback option from the 10-yard line with a minute to go before halftime against Toledo. As fate would have it, and Terry Foster, you might remember this, the number one team in the nation, the mighty Ohio State Buckeyes, were taking on an unheralded Michigan State squad 2 months later just 2 months later. They had a 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line.
Oh, my
in
God.
the last minute of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't go to their secret weapon. And they ended up losing that game to Michigan State. I think it was 28-27. So I go on the air the next day. I'm going, Buckeye fan, where you at? Why didn't you use your secret weapon against Michigan State? Y'all were telling me how important it was to drive that trick play up 42-0. Wait, why the hell didn't you use that against Michigan State?
Because it might not work.
Terry, couldn't agree with you more. There's nothing good that comes from those games. And let me tell you why. If you're Michigan and you beat Bowling Green 56-3, okay? This is what you're going to hear from people. You're going to have people going, you played Bowling Green. What does that mean? It means nothing, right? If the game is close, Mark D'Antonio era. Remember that bit, Spenny?
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Ooh, Michigan fan, are you worried? The Falcons hung with you. And then, God forbid, they actually pull the upset. Terry, there's nothing good that comes from those games. It doesn't benefit anybody. Well, I can't wait to hear this.
Central Michigan has a brand new baseball stadium for getting their asses kicked across the nation.
No,
so that's good.
I'm talking about the big boy, though. I'm talking about for Central. No. When Central goes and beats Michigan State, that's the double whammy. Hey, thanks for the paycheck, and we'll come and kick your ass anytime. Right. That's the double whammy. But for the big boys, there's nothing good that's going to come from that. Nobody's going to give you your flowers for beating Bowling Green 56-3.
It's even bad for the small guys because I was in an airport in Atlanta, and I was talking to this guy, and he said, "Where'd you go to school?" He said, "I went to the University of Florida." So he said, "Where'd you go to school?" I said, "I went to Central Michigan." And he went like this. He grabbed his head, and then spit came out of his mouth. He started laughing. "Oh, yeah. 86-8.
Yeah, remember 82-6 or whatever.
Whatever it was. Yeah,
it was wild.
Yeah, that was it. That was
embarrassing. Isn't that what? Didn't Spurrier go for 2? Like when they were up 64-3 or whatever the hell it was. I remember just watching that, going, "Dude, you're such a dick."
And you know what? They probably didn't pay us either.
Take your beating and get.
Right. Sue us.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
Can I throw something out there real quick?
Yeah.
I know we moved past Penn State a little bit, but I just would like to say a top 10 ranked team has lost in week 1 on the road in the last 3 seasons. I will put it on wax right now. West Virginia plus 10.5 against Penn State as Penn State travels to them on week 1.
Dude, you know what's funny? I just had a deja vu a year ago at this time, and you can legitimately check the tape. I was doing a show right before the season started, and to me, what Florida State eventually did, the road was there, okay? If you knock off highly rated LSU the first week of the year,
you're a lock.
All of a sudden, everything changes. Regardless of if LSU and Brian Kelly are legit or not. If they could fall off to 3-8, but you know what people remember? People remember what you did to LSU on that night. And that's what I was like. And then look at the rest of their schedule. They didn't have to beat anybody.
Nope.
They really didn't, because that wasn't a Clemson team. That wasn't a Miami team. And if their quarterback doesn't get hurt, they're probably in the playoffs. So it's weird how that happens. I won't rule that out, pal. I won't rule that out at all. CMU, Terry.
Higher up.
Can we talk about that when we come back? What do you
Sure.
make of the Stallion stuff?
I'm all ready. I was up there that weekend.
We'll get into that when we come back. Terry Foster, Sean Belegian, so glad you could join us Friday. Hope you're enjoying the show. Boys will be back next week. In the meantime, you're stuck with us here on Woodward Sports.
And I don't want to be gross, but I just gave birth in there. I lost at least 5 pounds. It was a monster. But let me tell you guys about Randy Wise, because how would you like to play in the University of Michigan golf course with Braylon Edwards? It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today, and you can round off the foursome. WoodwardSports.com or scan the QR code on the screen. When it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision and go to Randy Wise.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is popping up all over Michigan. They just opened a location in Madison Heights. Make sure you go check them out. Known for their delicious hand-battered, hand-breaded chicken, their great pizza, and the best biscuits in the game. For more information, go to Sorokis.com. Soroki's, now that's crispy.
I want to make something crystal clear. And Spenny, I think you and I talked about this last month. I could be wrong. Like, if you're a Michigan football fan right now, you got nothing to apologize for.
No.
Nothing. Like, I want to make that crystal clear, okay? Because I think a lot of times if somebody hears Spencer talk or hears me talk, especially sees me with this hat on, well, you're already predispositioned to go, oh, here it comes. Sparty's in the house.
But to be fair, Sparty is unfair a lot of times.
Sparty can be very, very often, right?
Yes.
But I'm a firm believer in you don't judge every Sparty or ever Wolvie with the same brush. You just don't do it.
Thank you.
Michigan fans, you have nothing to hang your heads about. You are a national champion. Nothing can change that.
No.
Like, I mean that.
Yes.
Nothing can change. Even if, God forbid, the NCAA came down and said, we know exactly what happened. We are taking wins away. You're the national champion.
That's not going to happen.
Of course not. But I'm telling you, like, I legitimately feel you're the national champion. And tip of the cap, respect. You knew the however was coming. However.
Get on your new rule.
I think a lot of you have kind of just, like, swept this Connor Stallion stuff under the rug. We all know what was happening. We all know what happened with Central Michigan, right? That was him. It was not Spency with shades on. It was not Justin before he grew it out. It wasn't me. It was Connor Stallions, right? Again, please remember what I said at the beginning, because I could see you getting all mad, getting ready to jump in your little chat and yell at me. You're the national champion. You have nothing to apologize for. Terry, what do you make of this Connor Stallion stuff, though?
Well, I was at CMU that weekend and the week after, a couple days after, when Connor Stallions was allegedly there. That was him. Because I talked to people who had to sign his credential, talked to some people who were on the coaching staff. And they don't want to lie to me, but here's what I heard. Was that Connor Stallion? Here's what they told me. All I heard was words, but they didn't say anything.
Yeah. And mysteriously,
skating around, yeah, it was mysterious.
Mysteriously, a quarterback coach lost his job just before the season started. It's really weird how that works itself out. Now, again, Terry, is that why Michigan won the national championship? No. I give them their flowers. There's so much of this crap going on in college football. You would be naive to think this. However, you know what y'all lost the right to do? Y'all lost the right to take the moral high ground. It's gone. And many of you, not all of you, there's that statement again, Terry. Many of you, not all of you, in the past kind of went like this. That stuff doesn't happen at Michigan. How many times have we heard that in our lifetime?
Yeah. You guys stick your nose up in there like this.
Remember, if you got to cheat to win, you already lost.
That stuff doesn't happen at Michigan. It happens everywhere.
You know what? You can't win a national championship without being a little shady.
I couldn't agree with you more. Listen, the sooner we bring that into the light, the better off we all are.
As a Michigan fan, I will tell you, I was not one of those people. I wanted them to get it down to that level that Alabama and the Georgias of the world are. Like, Georgia has the lowest graduation rate in the country. Like, they got shit going on down there.
Yeah.
They can't even figure out how to drive cars down there. So,
and they don't care.
Yeah, they don't
I
care.
wouldn't give a shit.
They
Football.
win. They win natties. So if that's the standard, win damn natties.
Yep.
Like, hey, who gives a shit? We're football fans. Like,
And
just win the damn football
we're not
game.
here to play school.
But you're young. The Michigan fans who have money and they're in their 50s and 60s, they're going around. Michigan, we don't do it like that. We're different than everybody else. We can win a natty without cheating, without doing anything.
No one can win a natty without cheating anymore.
Couldn't agree with you. Seriously, I couldn't agree with you anymore. I'm glad you have that realization. I've been one of those people for years. I've said, open your eyes. If you don't know what's going on, you're not paying attention. And a lot of times it isn't just a lone wolf either. It isn't. Okay, whether it be bags of money, whether it be this, whether it be that. Like this, it's going on. It's been going on, and I'm cool with it, just like I was cool with it before. But to your point, Justin, don't ever take the moral high ground with me again. I don't want to hear it ever again. If I can acknowledge, if we can all acknowledge, national champions, you deserve it. I'm not taking a damn thing away from you. Let's also start to be more realistic about the way things are in college football.
It's been like that.
Jim Harbaugh got the hell out of town. Y'all ain't gonna pin this on me.
Yeah.
I'm gone. I'm on the West Coast.
Good for him.
I'm surprised he didn't take a job in Leningrad. He just wanted to get as far away as possible.
That was like Pete Carroll. Remember Pete Carroll?
Oh, that guy.
When all that shit went down at USC,
Yeah.
my man ran straight off USC's campus and jumped in the Pacific Ocean and swam all the way up to Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He saw the fire torches coming from the other side of L.A. He saw the whole.
He was swimming
crowd.
with the sharks in the Pacific.
Jumped right in the Pacific, swam all his way up to Seattle, and then got to go up there and play dumb. Golly gee, I didn't know anything about that. Really? Reggie Bush got a house and a car? Wow, this is a guy that had, literally name a celebrity back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry, there were photo ops every single day with Pete Carroll and Matt Leinart or Reggie Bush or whatever the case may be. It's okay. Let's acknowledge it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's
Now,
happening
in my
everywhere.
youthful days, I covered college football.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I was told. Head coach always knows what's going on. But the thing that he does is, y'all take care of this. Don't tell me anything so I can plead ignorance. Put it in place. Get this stuff done. And then when the media comes to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
Fix it that way.
Yep. I had a coach tell me there are 110 players between the age of 18 and 22. How on earth can I keep track of them all? It's exactly what Terry said. Hey, Spenny, I want to hear about your linebackers. You take care of that shit.
Yep.
None of that. What? They were out at the bar? No, don't have anything to do with that. I know of a very prominent player at a very prominent university. Terry, you'll probably know this story, who routinely would tie one on, didn't matter the day of the week, and decide that he was going to go in the middle of a busy road near his campus and shoot golf balls at cars and other houses.
Well.
And there was an agreement in place that his very famous coach was to be notified first before anybody else. That they weren't going to take that player to jail. They were going to take him to his coach's house. And then they all played dumb and said it never happened.
Yeah.
Because there's no arrest. There's nothing there. I mean, this is the stuff that happens at places, man.
You ever hear of a coach named Bo?
Yes.
All Michigan fans, nothing happened under Bo. These players, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no.
Okay. They had an agreement. If somebody did something, the police didn't go to the media. The police didn't put people in jail. They went to Bo. Hey, so-and-so did this. How are we going to handle this?
Yep.
They keep it in the house.
It's real. Like, just that's okay. And like, again, you don't have anything to apologize for. You're the national champions.
Yep.
Justin, I like when you showed that fire. Yeah, you know what I do? I'd be going like this to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you want. I won the natty.
Yeah.
Screw you.
I got called a fake Michigan fan in chat. So to everyone who thinks that, take it up your ass. Straight up. I was at the Natty. I was at the last two Michigan-Ohio State games in the Big House. You got nothing on me.
Jesus, do you lose your memories of what happened?
No.
No, of course not. So it's there. It happened. You can't take that away.
You guys, national champions forever.
Yep.
You saw it. That's it. And not the half bullshit that you had to put up with in 1997. The Tom Osborne going away present. That's a full national championship. Enjoy it. All right. We got
97 was too. Nebraska lost that season.
They should have. They should have. We all
They
know
did
how that
lose.
worked out. Oh, I remember.
Yep.
Who can forget that
In the
game?
fifth down.
Woodward Sports.
Well, let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and get a workout fitting their fitness goals. They've got a ton of equipment, a full body.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Lord, have mercy.
Full body workout in 30 minutes in a 30-minute circuit. All memberships include fitness training, upgrade to the Black Card, G's, volume amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, all that good stuff. Make sure you go to planetfitness.com to find one near you, or just walk in. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and every Thursday during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. And before we get back to it, I do just gotta shout out to Dante151 dropping the $10 super chat.
Shout out.
He said, do Michigan fans realize how many players get arrested at Georgia for drunk driving and what happened? They were playing the next day. And for people who said Michigan killed Bama, WTF did you watch?
It is.
It was a
It
close
is everywhere, and they're the things. I've always joked. One day, when I'm done, I'm gonna write a tell-all book. And Terry, you would have an unbelievable tell-all book, because there are things that I know that I'm not gonna. But honestly, you are living in a fantasy world, and I'm talking to everybody out there. If you're one of those people that sit back and say we do things the right way, you are out your mind. Like, honestly,
Maybe Vanderbilt.
And
Vanderbilt, yeah.
Yeah.
I've said this before with different people in the chat. I'll never understand why, again, some, not all, but some Michigan fans still have this victim mentality and this, oh, woe is me, and being so soft about it. You are national champions. Like, that's all you got to say is we won the Natty, suck it. Like, stop being a victim. You're not a victim. You're the best team in college football last year.
I don't feel sorry for you because, A, yes, you're right. They're national champion. And B, nothing's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
Or if it does, it's going to be
It's going to be another slap on the
hand.
wrist.
You guys, I say this again. This is why I said at the beginning. I'm going to say it again, okay? And Spenny, I couldn't agree with you more. I think there are some of you that are waiting to be offended just because of the choice of my hat, okay? You have nothing to apologize for. And you're the national champion. That's it. I mean, really, that's it. You have nothing to apologize for. But you have to accept the fact you lost the moral high ground. You never really had it, but now you have to accept that you can't play that card anymore. Now, Terry, you and I have been around long enough to know that certain segments, they're never going to drop that. They're never. I mean, We don't do things like that at Michigan. Right? Well, if you choose to live in a fantasy world, so be it. But you can't play that card anymore.
You do it, and that's fine. I'm not going to. I wish they could do it at CMU.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they could cheat up and down, which made them so good they could be in the national championship game. Now, it's not going to happen. It's almost impossible. It is impossible for it to happen.
Yes.
But I wouldn't mind a booster just saying, you know what? I don't give a damn. I'm gonna stick $1 billion into the football program for recruiting, for facilities or whatever, and just see what happens.
Screw Sister Jean. I don't give a shit if Satan himself was my head coach, if that means we're winning the national championship. Like, what are we doing here?
Did you see Justin's eyes light up when you said screw Sister Jean? Yeah. All right, we got to get out of here. Thanks again. Have a great weekend. For Terry Foster, Sean Belegian, the gang, Woodward Sports. Later.
Yep.